Hi, welcome back. I'm Joe. This is the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. The distractions that come that will attempt to throw us off our game is what we need to get into today. And we got to get into it because I love y'all. And I know that when we're building something great, when we're going after everything God has said we can have, when we are intending to achieve our dreams, the distractions will certainly come. And if we're not paying close attention, we're going to fall for it every single time. And for me, this has become apparent in my life just in the last few days. I was mentally preoccupied with a situation, and I know under the surface, it just felt like a demonic attack. You know, I spend my days creating, and when I found myself going into this distraction, this overanalyzing of this situation, underneath, it was like God was just screaming out, distraction. You're being lied to. You are being deceived is actually what I heard. You are being deceived. This is trickery. And so as I sat with it, I thought, here comes another attack. As I'm in the flow of everything that I'm creating, everything that I'm collaborating with God on, and I'm on a roll, y'all. Week over week, it is just a new level. Week over week, things are just coming into fruition. Week over week, I'm just attracting the opportunities that God told me I would attract when I stay in alignment with Him. And then, of course, here comes the distractions, because the enemy wants to continue to throw us off our game, right? I was asked the other day what I felt is the biggest distraction when it comes to building our dreams. And for me, it was obvious. The biggest distraction from what I see, not only in my own life, but what I see in the lives of those around me, was the need to find love outside of ourselves. Like everything will remain still until we find that person outside of ourselves to feel the loneliness that we got going within ourselves. Right? Like we know we are meant to be concentrating, focused on our health. We know we're supposed to be hitting the gym. We know we're supposed to be working on that project that's due at the end of the month. We know we're supposed to be enrolling in school. We know that we're supposed to be building that business. We know that we're supposed to be diving deeper into the Word of God and getting closer to God. But oh no, until that gaping hole inside of ourselves is filled with the love that we think is going to fulfill us, that is outside of ourselves, everything remains on pause. Like we cannot focus until we have that person in our life loving us the way we ought to honestly be loving ourselves. And that's actually the remedy. When we are truly loving ourselves, or another way of saying it, when we are truly loving God, because we can't really truly love ourselves, I'm here to tell you, until we align ourselves with God, because God is within us. And whether you call it God or highest self or source or spirit, until we align ourselves with that and have our entire life saturated in that, loving that, then we can't truly love ourselves. And if we can't truly love ourselves, good luck trying to attract someone outside of ourselves that will love us the way we desire to be loved. It cannot happen. The math does not math. It does not equal a fulfilling love. You can only attract a love that will sustain, that will fulfill, when we, and listen to me closely, when we love ourselves wholeheartedly. And that's going to look like delayed gratification, because it does take time to love ourselves completely, because it's going to be a lot of lonely nights, a lot of nights just sitting with ourselves, a lot of evenings in deep meditation, in our spirit, in our word, in our communication with God. And the distraction, which will be the pain, saying and screaming out, actually, we need a love, we need a man, we need a woman, we need a husband, we need a wife, we need these things. And I can't focus here until I have that thing. Then that's a distraction. You are distracting from what's truly meant to fulfill you. You are distracting from all that God is asking you to create. You are distracting from the very thing in you that is rising up saying, bing, 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 we need your attention here. We need you to feel some shit here. We need you to love yourself more here. When we are honestly loving ourselves fully, and I can talk to this point because I love myself completely, there is not a single day that goes past that I don't come home to my stillness and say there is no better place in the world than right here in my own presence. In the presence of God, I am completely fulfilled. I am completely in love, madly in love with God. And that's going to be a combo that I got to put up at some point. Madly in love with God, which then in turn you become madly in love with yourself. And when you are madly in love with yourself, true love, then you're free to work on and create all the things God has for you to create. You're free to go after, and when I say go after, meaning attract the things, the very dreams that are in your heart, because you're no longer going out looking for anything else. You're not distracted with trying to find something outside of yourself that's going to fill the loneliness within yourself. Yes, this is definitely the number one thing, in my opinion, that distracts us from our goal. Going out, trying to find a love outside of God's love. And I know that we think that, no, that can't be a distraction. Like I can build with this individual. Okay. I'll ask you this. What have you worked on today? What have you worked on yesterday? What have you worked on this month? How much time have you put in? Are you consistent, or do you find yourself distracted with the relationship that you're trying to create or the relationship that you're looking for? Are you distracted with social media? Are you distracted with your own limiting beliefs? Distractions will come a million ways. Or are you focused in on God and all that He has for you? You know, when I think about the greats, when you listen to them speak, they're talking about just focusing in on their bag. They're talking about quieting the noise, the distractions of life. They're talking about not even telling others what they're created, because the distractions can also come in someone else's doubt about yourself. When you are on your own path, building something, building your vision that you know you're destined for, and then someone else comes who's not building anything for themselves. They can't see your vision. Of course, how can they? It's not their vision and it's yours. But this can come in as a form of distraction. When someone says, no, you're aiming too high, or nope, that's never been done, or nope, what makes you so special to think you're going to be able to achieve that? Those are distractions. How can we right now limit the noise and focus in on everything we have to create? There is only, in my opinion, one way. And it's actually the way to everything. You're going to have to go within. You're going to have to tap in to whatever is preventing you from the focus, whatever that is preventing you from inconsistency, whatever that is preventing you from being able to sit in stillness with yourself, with your own thoughts, that causes you to say, forget this, I gotta go to a bar. Forget this, I gotta get on this dating app. Forget this, I gotta go on a run and go see who I can see outside. Forget this, I need to be outside looking for my man, my woman, my future, whatever. How bad do we want it? The noise will come. And if we are not on guard, we will go in the direction of the noise. I read, I can't even recall the book, but I read a point where an author was talking about if you drop a weight, you'll be able to see who is not present in the room. When you drop a weight, the ones who are not present will immediately be drawn to the sound of the weight. They will begin to look around. The people who are present, and there's going to be few in that room, will just understand what fell or would not be concerned about what fell and will continue to move on with what they got going on in front of them. Ever since I've heard that, and it's been years, I now notice that. I'll walk down the street and I'll hear somebody arguing behind me. I know there's someone arguing behind me. But when you look on people in the street, everyone is stopping what they're doing. They're turning around, they're looking. Yeah, you can call it nosiness, but their mind is drawn to the noise. It's drawn to the distraction. They're no longer in the present moment. And not only no longer, for the most part, they were never. They're only going where the noise draws them. That's a distraction. Anything that distracts you from the present, anything that pulls you out of what you are doing right now, is really pulling you away, that further apart from the very magic, which is the present, that creates everything that we want in the future. And if we're uncomfortable with ourselves and we can't just sit in the present, because as we sit in the present, things will surface, things will come up. And if we can't sit there, we become distracted or uncomfortable, and we're unable to flow through that discomfort without distracting it with a drink or a drug or another person, then I'm here to tell you, your dreams may be a long time coming. There's a better way, y'all. And it is doing the work right now that heals those wounds that keep you feeling that you can't just be simply where you are, working on all that God is asking you to. Go within. Go deep. You have dreams to create. You have goals to accomplish. You know what you ought to be doing right now. But I want to ask you, what is drawing you away from it right now? What are you preoccupied with? There is your distraction. Try sitting with yourself today. 1 hour. I know it's uncomfortable. I remember the fidgeting. I remember those thoughts, those horrible thoughts that will begin to come up that we think can hurt us. But really, can we really? It's a mental discomfort, not physical. You're safe. You're seated in a room, just sitting with yourself in stillness, in quietness, in the presence of God. You are completely and utterly safe. Allow what needs to come up, come up. Let it go. And I promise you, you will be that much more closer to mastering the mind. And as you master the mind, you will not fall for the distractions. Thank you so much for joining this convo. Please consider sharing it. Make sure that you are liked and subscribed to us on YouTube or wherever you are podcasting. I want to say I will chat with you guys again real soon. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, love yourself and love others. Bye for now.